So, welcome everybody to the Apex Sniper webinar. My name is John Skelton with Apex Investing, and tonight we're going to try to focus, and not just tonight, but over the next couple months here, we're going to focus on thriving in 2021. And some of you might be aware of the live event we're having in March. I'll talk to you about that a little bit here. But let's knock out our disclosures. As always, trading involves risk. Make sure you know what you're doing before you do it. And don't trade with the rent money, right? Don't trade with the mortgage money, college money. Somebody's saying they have no audio. Is everyone else still hearing me loud and clear? Okay. All right. Check your speakers. 10 by 10. All right. Got it. So, a couple reminders here. I have a question for you. Daryl last week on the webinar talked to you about a book called Think and Grow Rich. And some of you have said, yep, I've got the book. I've read it a few times. There was a lot of you that said, no, I've never read that book. How many of you have, since the webinar, have gone and ordered the book or got it online and been checking that out? Ordered it, bought it yesterday, received it yesterday, reading it now. Perfect. Okay. Well, I just wanted to follow up on that because it is a great, great book to read. And it's very important. For those of you that have been around a while, we've talked about this, right? When you're brand new to trading, you hear about this trading thing, you watch some videos online, and you think it's just going to be easy, right? That you can watch a YouTube video or two, learn some little arrow or crossover or some little line and press a button, make all this money. And you realize after getting into trading for a little bit, it's not quite that easy, is it? It's not as easy as you thought it was. Not as easy as anybody thinks it is. And you realize how it's not even just learning a system or learning a strategy or entry and exit rules, but so much about mind mastery and mentality and psychology and battling yourself and emotions and anger or greed or jumping the gun or whatever it is. Exactly, Bert. The battle's between the ears, right? And so there's, we talk a lot about, trading psychology. We have the mind mastery course. Daryl talked to you last week about getting this book, Think and Grow Rich, to help your mindset, help your thought process. I talked to you a few months ago about, hey, if you want to read some great books, look up books by Mark Douglas, particularly one called Trading in the Zone. And I think a lot of you got that book as well. You can even go to YouTube, just type in Mark Douglas Trading and watch some great seminars he's done about trading. And I really want to encourage you as we get into this mindset of thriving in 2021, okay? Yes, you need to know the basics. Yes, you need to understand the rules of our systems. You need to follow the rules. I see you guys break the rules all the time, right? I break the rules sometimes. We all break the rules. So we need to do that, but I think we really have to focus on ourselves. And it doesn't matter how many hours a day, days of the week, weeks of the month and year you want to stare at a chart. If you don't conquer that side of it yourself and that discipline and that routine and that structure, it's just not going to get you anywhere. And so when we want to talk about thriving in 2021, we really have to take a step back and really look at ourselves and really invest in ourselves and grow ourselves. Okay. Real quick reminder, Apex Chart Trader. I know a lot of you guys are using that. As Daryl's mentioned before, that's going to be free until the 15th of the month, so 3 more days here. And then you can sign up for that. It's on the main sign up page. And we'll be sending some stuff out on that. Also, we've sent this out. We've reminded you about this. Just another thing when it comes to 2021. If you're here on the Apex homepage, you go to the Sniper page. Go ahead and scroll on down to the webinar section. If any of you, I know most of you have seen this, most of you have watched it multiple times, but if any of you have missed it, scroll down here to webinars, go down here to section D, most recent webinars, and you want to watch right here, 2021 and chart review. one of the most important webinars you can watch for going into this new year. Daryl really digs into, you know, your mindset and how to make a difference in 2021 and some goals, and check it out. Okay, definitely go and watch that and watch it again. All right, it's very, very important there for you. So, thrive in 2021. Yes, as you know, we do plan on doing an online live event in March. You know, it'll be a 3 or 4 day live event, all day, every day. We're going to dig into quite a bit of stuff. Somebody said, hey, I tried to look for a sign up page. There's no sign up page just yet. Okay. We haven't put it all together. We haven't put out a page. We'll be sending out some more info on it probably in, you know, early February, giving you exact dates and times and a full schedule, and you can sign up then. We'll get you more details. We're still putting it all together here, but it's going to be a great event. We're going to talk about OPR. Y'all been hearing a lot about that. Order prints rejection, order prints acceleration rejection. I'm going to teach a section about my favorite trade, which was kind of, I've touched on it before, but I'm going to take it much deeper. If I had to choose one trade ever, the only trades I could look for on a chart, what would those be and how we can kind of fit those in? You hear Lori talking every day in the elite room about what she calls no-brainer trades. And she's really kind of nailing those down and being able to put some rules together for you to really dig in and teach you those trades that she looks for. We'll talk about trading psychology, walls, levels, looking at some bigger charts, some rose level bounces. But a big part of the event is going to be, you know, all three of us, but Daryl and I probably a little more, is combining simplicity with sniper. Okay, meaning, you know, and we'll probably take it a step further and how to kind of combine 2 or 3 different charts with simplicity. Okay, to piece everything together to improve accuracy. And so it's going to be a great event. We're going to, like I said, be releasing some more information on it here in February. So stay tuned. We don't have the exact cost figured out, exact days figured out. We're still piecing a lot of it together, but you won't miss out on it. Trust me, it'll be announced everywhere. But it's going to be a big theme. You know, 2020 was a rough year, right? For everyone. It was a rough year, and you know, it was a year that people were worried about surviving, you know, and we really want to focus 2021 on, you know, not just surviving, but we want to thrive in 2021, not just survive. And that starts now. It's not going to be just with our live event. We want that to kind of be the theme of the whole year and how to make that happen. But it kind of starts now, and it starts with the basics. As we're here in a new year, you know, and we want to look at how can we thrive in 2021 and make this a big year and build it big. Well, as you know, you can't build anything big without a good foundation, right? And as we're leading up into this big live event in March, and you want to be able to make the most of it, be able to take away the most from it, learn from it, and kind of be at a level where you can absorb it and understand it and put it into use right away, let's start preparing for that. And let's make sure as we go into the new year here that we really do have the basics down, that we understand the systems and the strategies, we understand the rules, we've been through the courses, we have our list of questions printed out in front of us on the desk, and we know the rules, but we want to really start with self-awareness. And that's kind of going to be the theme of tonight's webinars. We're not going to be getting into charts or Markers Plus or any of those type of things tonight. I want to step away from that. We have that all the time. You have millions of videos on it. You have the Elite Trade Room every day with that. You got Skype rooms with that. And like I said, you could spend the next 2 years of your life looking at a chart, but if you don't really understand where you are, you know, it's not going to do you a whole lot of good. And so being aware of where am I right now in my trading path and trading career, and where do I want to be by the end of this year? Where do I want to be next month? Where do I need to be by this live online event in March to be able to really make the most of it? Because I need that foundation to build on. And I know many of you have taken the Mind Mastery course, and I think that's great. Go back through that and watch that again. If you haven't taken that course, go grab it. But you need to be able to learn to self-analyze for weakness. That's one of the hardest things for us as human beings to do. You know what I mean? Um, and I could be wrong here, but I think it's even harder for us as guys to do because we don't like to be wrong, do we? We don't like to be wrong. We know what we're doing. We're the ones that we're not going to read the directions, right? We're just going to try to figure it out. We're not going to stop and ask for directions to go somewhere. We're going to conquer this. We're going to figure this out. We don't like to show our weakness. And it's really hard to self-analyze. We like to, as human beings, like with your kids even, you know, yeah, there's times you need to correct them, punish them, reprimand them, teach them. But kids need a lot of building up as well, right? They need a lot of encouragement, right? And they like to be praised and awarded and thought highly of. We still need that too as adults. And we like to show off our wins, our strengths. We like to look good. It's not always as easy for us to stop and say, okay, where do I need to work on? Where is my weakness? Where am I falling short? Where am I failing? What can I do better? We don't want to be told we need to do better. Because what does that sound like to us? Like that we're not good enough, we're a screw up, we got to put in more effort, we got to put in more work, and I'm tired, I don't want to do that. Like we don't want to do that. Like we just literally don't want to. Nobody does. But I think that's a huge part of trading. I think that's a huge part of taking things to the next level. And I think that's a huge part of the difference of surviving and thriving. You know what I mean? Can be that little bit of extra, right? That just a little bit of difference. You heard the whole phrase before about, you know, water doesn't freeze at 33 degrees, does it? But just one more little change in degree down to 32 degrees makes all the difference in the world, right? It's not always a big 50-degree difference and 25% difference or 10%, 10-degree difference. It can be the difference of just a half of a degree can make the difference of water freezing or not freezing, or water boiling or not boiling, just that extra little bit. And so I think we really have to look at ourselves and yes, we want to know what our strengths is. Yes, let's praise your strengths. Let's be proud of our strengths. Let's enjoy our strengths. Let's use our strengths. But we have to analyze for weakness to be able to grow. Mark Stillwell says, yes, our Apex community is vital to our success. Absolutely, Mark. It totally is. And the Apex community and being involved in your mentor groups, being involved in your Skype room, being involved in the elite room, you're opening yourself up to getting feedback from other people. You can ask questions. You can post your chart. How many times have you posted a chart? Or how many times have you said something in the room like, hey, is this a valid TX? Or hey, I heard Lori say something this morning to somebody. They're like, oh, I got into that one late and I should have got out earlier. And what did Lori say? The problem wasn't that you got out early or got out late. It's that you got in late and just shouldn't have. Okay, yeah, you're right. You're right. And it's good to get feedback. How many of you have heard this statement right here? Your critics are your friends. They show you your faults. Right? It's very easy to take offense when people point out a fault. It's very easy to get upset, get defensive, get your feelings hurt, feel down about yourself, be angry when somebody shows you your faults. But if it's a true fault and it's done in the right spirit of trying to help you and trying to help you see it and learn from it and move forward and be successful, those critics are your friends, right? And that's why it's so very important to take advantage of that community in the room, whether it's the elite room, your mentor rooms, but show your work, ask for input. Those people are your friends. They will show you your faults. And if you know your faults, you know what you need to work on, right? Just like you know, we can't fix a problem until we admit there is a problem and identify what that problem is and know, okay, that's what I need to work on. And identifying those faults or those weaknesses and changing them, that can make all the difference in your trading and in your success. Does that make sense? Do you guys agree with that? That's a big missing key for a lot of us because we don't want to do it. And we don't really like to be told where we're weak or what we're doing wrong. Like we like praise. It's just normal and natural, right? Yeah, Bert, it hurts, but we kind of need it. No pain, no gain, right? It's very important. So I think, as we go into thriving in 2021, that's what we've got to look at. Where's the weakness? Where's the weak link? What do we need to work on and change? Um, and a big thing here that kind of is a transition point to me here, I want to talk to you guys about spending time in demo, using the simulators. You have a free demo account, okay? We'll master and learn the strategy and system, okay? We love Lilu. All of you love Lilu, right? But I have seen so many. Lilu is a positive thing. Lilu is a great thing. You can qualify, get a funded account, get money, trade someone else's money, not your own money. It's a great positive thing, right? But I've seen so many people turn it into a negative. I've seen so many people turn Lilu into something that hurts them because you should not be going straight into Lilu. You're paying for Lilu. Lilu is costing you. You're having to pay to reset Lilu. Why would you pay a fee to have an account and to reset an account just to demo trade in while you're learning? You can get a free demo. Stay in demo. Pilots spend a ton of time in a simulator before they learn to fly, right? That's what it's all about. Do they get behind do they get into a cockpit or even a training cockpit with a training pilot right away? No, they spend tons of time in a flight simulator, right? And how many times have I heard some of you guys say, well, demo is just not even real. I mean, I need to have something on the line to make it feel more real. No, you don't. You don't. You just don't. Do you want to fly? Do you want to hop on an American Airlines flight with some pilot that's never been in a simulator and trained? Because he says, why? Why would I train in a simulator? It's not even real. The simulator's no good because I can't really crash. I have nothing to lose in reality, so I just need to go straight to flying to make it feel more real. I'm sorry, my butt's running off that plane. Aren't you? Right? You've got to stay in demo until you're profitable. I'm going to call you out here and I want you to be honest. Type it in here. How many of you opened and signed up for Lilu and started trading Lilu and you weren't even profitable in your free demo account before you did it? Say me. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Me, guilty. So now, let me ask you this. Did that make a lot of sense? Remember, your critics are your friends. They show you your faults. So let me critique you a little bit. And remember, I'm your friend. Didn't even make sense, did it? Right? And now, struggling a little bit. Had to pay another month. Had to reset. Right? Yeah. So when you try to skip a step, kind of hurts, doesn't it? You can't cut corners when it comes to this, okay? And as we go into this year, if you want to thrive and thrive financially, you're not going to do that throwing away pointless money that you didn't need to, right? So let's start there, okay? If you're struggling in Lulu and I've gone months and months and I've reset and I've reset, why don't you stop? Forget the fact that there's a discount right now. Just stop. Go back to demo. Trade in demo. Be profitable in demo. Master it in demo. Got it. Now you move over. Okay? Or for those of you that haven't gone to Lulu yet, don't do it until you're profitable. Okay? It makes no sense to do that. And I really want you guys to start and think about that. Okay? And it could be an expensive lesson, and utilize the tools you have in front of you. Okay? Sometimes you don't want to take a step back because you feel like it's a step back. But sometimes you need to take that step back and start fresh, or else you're just going to keep going down, 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 down. Right? We're still in January. We're still at the beginning of this year. Stop. Take a step back if you need to, and don't spin your wheels, because you don't want to keep spinning your wheels until December, right? So kind of wake up call, snap to now. What do you need to do to change? Okay? Does that hit home for anybody? Because I know a lot of you are like, yep, that's me. Yep, I did it too fast. Did it too quick. Okay? So you have to be able to do it in demo, master it. But then when you move over to Lulu, you have to trade just like you did in demo. Because when you make that move, exactly, Richard, all of a sudden your mentality changes. Like, ooh, now it's real. Now it's real money. Now I got to qualify. Now I got to, Like, you got to do it the same way consistently. And you guys see that, right? How many of you have done that? Well, I was profitable in demo, but then when I moved over to live or moved to Lulu, it really screwed with my head, and it was mentally harder, and oh. So for those of you that have experienced that, is the answer that you need to go study charts more? Or that you need to add on extra indicators? Or that you need a different system? Or is it you that you need to focus on, and discipline and consistency and emotion and mental, right? Yeah. And I hope you can all agree and see you're not going to go from surviving to thriving until you realize that there's got to be a lot more focus on yourself. The answer is not the charts. The charts are there. The system's there. The rules are there, right? I'm out in front of you. Look. I mean, you get a dang audio and visual alert that there's a potential trade. You're in a room with other, like, that's not the problem, right? It's the mentality, self-confidence, psychology, the consistency. So I really want you to focus on that as we go into this year, because without that, you're not going to get to that thrive level. Okay? So now let's take another little shift here. And this might be a little cheesy, might sound a little cheesy, but I want it to kind of resonate with you to help you figure out where you are right now and where you want to be. And by the end of this, and I'll say it some more, but I want you to learn to ask yourself a question every trade that you take. Okay? Before the trade, during the trade, and after the trade. And I want to talk about 4 trading personalities. Okay? Some of you haven't heard me or Daryl talk about this in a couple of years probably. But I'm going to relate them to the animal world. Okay? So, what is your spirit animal here? No, I'm just kidding. Not spirit animal. But what is your animal personality here? We're going to start off and talk about 4 different ones. Okay? We're going to define some different trading personalities. Now, we've probably been all of these personalities at different times, or some of us are mixed, or one week we're this and the other one we're that. So which one are you? Which one do you want to be? And ask yourself this each day, every trade. What did I do right? What did I do wrong? What personality did I express when taking this trade? Okay? Yeah, Chris, you're a mix of all. Okay. So the sheep. We're going to talk about a sheep. Okay? A sheep is just lost as a trader. The sheep is just lost, wandering hither and yonder, right? All over the place, does a lot of demo trading, doesn't have a lot of focus, kind of here, kind of there. You talk to them 4 months later, 3 months later, it's like, "Oh, how's your trading going?" "Oh, well, I'm still in demo." "Oh, okay." And I'm always in front of charts. I'm in the elite room in the morning for hours. I stay in there in the afternoon. I hop in my mentor groups in the evening. I stay up all night and neglect my family and my spouse, and I'm looking at charts and looking at charts and looking at charts. But then I'm going to add like, well, what if I added this random indicator on? And oh, I saw these other Apex systems from a few years ago. What if I added this on? And what if I tested this? And then what if I tried this? And what if I added another layer of this on top of this and this indicator? Searching and searching, lost, never doing. Raise your hand. How many of you are a sheep, were a sheep, been there, done that? I've been there. I was, you know. And if I do enter a trade and it's losing, but I'm so focused on it turning around because I'm blinded. I'm not looking at what the chart's telling me. I've got it in my head that this market's going short. It's going down. So I go short, but now my trade's going against me. It's losing. But I'm going to say, I really think it's going short. This is just a little bit of a pullback, right? And that's going to keep going short. But oh man, it's going up and it's going up and then it's pulled back. But wait, but it's still going up. But I really think it's going to go down. And I'm so blinded by the fact that I'm convinced it's going short that I didn't realize, damn, that was the perfect long setup. Right? I'm so convinced it's just a temporary pullback because I want it to go short that I didn't realize it's not just going long to pull it back against me a little bit. It was the perfect long setup. Right? And I'm just so focused on it. But I'm unfocused on everything else going on because I'm too focused on one thing and I'm not seeing the whole picture. I'm focused on what my head is telling me, what I'm biased towards, and what one part of one chart is telling me. How many times have you guys been so zoomed in on a 10-tick diagnostic sniper chart thinking that something was happening, or thinking there was a trend this way, or thinking Oh, it's a trend, or oh, it's chopper. Oh, but then when you zoom out on that 10 tick chart, or when you look over at a 10-minute or 60-minute or the 30 tick chart in the trade room, you go, right, exactly, Richard. And then you go, oh, that's not at all what's even going on, right? Because you were so focused and you had something in your head. A sheep is also sitting there looking at charts, adding a million indicators, looking for that one perfect system that always works 100% of the time. Oh man, look, the system had 2 losses in a row, but when I added 10 other indicators on, I would not have taken those 2 trades. So I avoided those 2 losses. Sweet. Oh, but wait a minute. How many wins did I avoid? How many other losses do I take? Well, crap. Well, maybe it was just the wrong set of 10 extra indicators. So let me start fresh. Let me find 10 other different indicators that I could have put on here that might have helped me stay out of this one loss. Because this 1 or 2 losses just irks my head, and I've got to find some way around that and to win every single trade. Okay, those 10 indicators didn't work either. Maybe I just had the wrong settings on those 10 indicators. So now I need to play with settings. How many? You been there? Done that? Yeah, and you wonder why the sheep 6 months later is still not trading, because they're still playing with charts. Because they're still trying something new. They're still testing because they're too afraid to lose. So they'll hop from system to system, back testing system to system, thinking they can find something that's the holy grail. And they're too focused on winning and avoiding that pain of losing, instead of just finding a good system, learning the system, and trading with good risk management and knowing when to stop. Right? And they just want to try all these mixes of systems to avoid losses, and they'll end up testing forever and ever and ever. So don't look at trading as winning or losing. Look at it as inventory. Okay? You've heard me talk about the store example before, right? If you own a store, let's say you own a furniture store, okay? You have a customer that walks up and hands you money for something, right? Oh, they bought this couch. They handed me $1,000. Great, that's money in. But what do you have to give them in return for that money in? You got to give them the couch, right? That couch cost you money too, right? So there's money out. Just like a store or any retail business or a car dealership or a home builder or a clothing store, a candle store, whatever it is, there's money in and there's money out, right? You have to spend money on that, on a service. You have to spend money on inventory in a store to sell it. You buy something off of Amazon, you're giving them money. But they have money going out too, right? They're shipping you a product. They're paying for shipping. They've got drivers. There's money in and money out in any business. But somehow when we get into this world of trading, and that money goes in or out by the click of a button, it feels like the world is ending when we have a loss and there's money out, right? But any business in the world works that way. There's money in and money out, and at the end of the month, your business is profitable if you had more money in than you had money out. It's that simple, right? Everybody agree? Everybody get that analogy? But trading feels different for some reason because it's a press of a button. You don't see a tangible piece of inventory that you bought with that money. You know what I mean? But trading is a business. You can't look at it like win, loss. Oh my God, I just lost my money, just left my account. Crap, I gotta stop. I gotta figure out what happened. No, you don't. Like, that's business. There's money in and there's money out. You know for a fact you're not going to win any You're not going to win 100%. You're going to win, you're going to lose. The point is where do you end up? What is a business? There's no business out there that's all money in. If there is, and you know of it, tell me. But that's how business works. I mean, it's money in, money out. But you want to avoid that feeling so bad that you just don't trade. Right? What if you opened a big furniture store, your very first customer, they came in and hand you $1,000, but when you got to hand them a couch that you paid $600 for, when you have money going out, that makes you feel so bad, so you shut your store down for 2 months. So that you can try to figure out a way to only let people hand you money, but you don't actually have to give them that furniture. Or you can give them the furniture, but how can I not pay for it from the manufacturer? So I'm just going to lock the door of the store and not let any more people come in and hand me money, because I don't like how it makes me feel when I got to hand them something back, when I have to pay my rent, when I have to pay for a piece of inventory. I'm just going to close the store down. Does that make any logical sense at all? Like, it doesn't, does it? If you heard of somebody doing that, you would think they were nuts, right? We do it all the time in trading, though, don't we? So think about that. Think about that, because it literally makes no sense, does it? So a sheep, they think they got to know everything before they can do anything. I've got to go learn every single sniper trade setup. I've got to go learn every old school system I've ever heard of in Apex. I got to learn everything about the market before I can do anything. But the guy that started the same time I did 6 months ago, he was up and trading, TXs in the first week. And then by week 3, he added on SLZs. And then he added on this. And he's doing great, making live money. And I'm still over here demo trading because I'm watching videos and charts for 6 months. Learn one thing and add on. You don't need to sit there watching hundreds of hours before you do anything and tinkering around with the newest thing and combining things. Sheep will have 1 million indicators on their chart, but they still won't enter a live trade due to fear. They'll focus on, one day that won, like, ooh, this was a really good day of winning trades. But the other day wasn't so good. Okay, so how do I make every day be like this one day? What indicators can I add on to make it work? Oh, then I had a bad day, so I'm going to move on to another system. I'm going to try something else. Skip around, skip around, skip around. So a sheep will sometimes learn the ABCs, like they know the rules. Okay, this has to happen and this has to happen before I enter. But they don't understand why. How many of you were on all of those basic tutorials I did a couple months ago, where I went through each trade and explained why? Like, not just if this happens, press enter, but why? What's behind it? What does it mean? Why is the rule there? What's going on behind the scene? What's under the hood? Why does this make sense? And when you get that part, it can make all the difference, right? And it can make you want to follow the rules even more and have more confidence in it. But the sheep don't want to learn that. They just want to be told, 1, 2, 3 happens, press enter. And they don't want to know any more than that. They don't want to have to read the market. They don't want to worry about these levels and walls and obstructions. I don't care what's in my way. If I'm going to go, I just want to go. And they're controlled by fear. Okay? So, is this you? Are you a sheep? Where are you right now? Are you still in the sheep character zone? And be honest with yourself. Be real with yourself. And self-analyze that. Admit it. Learn your faults. Recognize if that's where you are. Okay? Then we've got the pig. Okay? Damn pigs. Pig will try anything. I've been a pig before. Pig will try anything. And he's not like the sheep. He's not going to be scared and sit and demo for months. This pig's going to go out and try anything, and he's going to try it right now, and he's going to try it with live money, right? This is the get rich quick. Get rich quick. Get rich pig. This is the get rich quick pig. He don't want to put in no time. He ain't scared. He's going to be lazy. He's not going to test it. He's not going to demo it first. He doesn't need none of that. He's going to jump from one thing to the other and not even worry about back testing it. He's just going with live money. Oh, I saw one video on YouTube. I saw one other trader said they do this. So I'm just going to go do it, and I'm going to just trade it live. I'm going to find something that works for the last few days, and then I'm going to go all in. Hey, today and yesterday, last couple of days, I did pretty good on this. Man, I'm winning, and I'm not really having to work too much. Now I'm going to do 5 contracts. Now I'm going to do 10 contracts. Yeah, exactly, Mark. He's going to be somebody's bacon. Yeah. Yep. No risk management, not keeping track of risk management, not following a plan. He saw something on TV, heard something, trading way too many contracts, being greedy, not taking profits when he should, trying to let it go and go and go. Doing okay for a while, and boom, has some really big hits and doing good, and then bam, just doesn't exit, doesn't keep a stop loss, goes all in, loses it all, stays in trades hoping it'll come back. No patience, jumping in early, jumping in late, doesn't want to watch videos, doesn't want to be in a trade room, doesn't want anything. Or thinks they're just too smart. I have a college degree. I've ran my own business. I don't need all this training. I don't need to listen to somebody and watch videos. I don't have time for that. I'm not going to spend that much time. I mean, I don't need all that psychobabble stuff about trading psychology and analyze yourself. Okay, Dr. Phil, whatever. I'm just going to go press these buttons and make some money. I've been a president. I'm a billionaire. I ran this big company. Does that mean that you can hop on an airplane and fly it? No. You still have to learn. You still have to learn what you're doing. You still have to learn the market. You have to put in effort. You can't be too proud to ask for help or proud to start fresh with a new endeavor and learn it. Or, this is often the pig right here. Okay? And this is where I might be your friend, the critic. I don't want to learn. I don't want to study. I don't want to look at my own charts. I want to follow a guru. I don't want to put in the effort to try to be a guru. Right? I want signals. Who has a signal service? Give me a signal service. Or I want to sit in the elite room and just wait for Daryl or Lori to call out a trade. Or I want to be upset when Daryl didn't call the trade out soon enough. I want to be upset when Daryl didn't call it out way ahead of time, telling me to get ready and telling me to place a potential order and then telling me yes to do it. He didn't handhold me and walk me through it. Instead of, there's charts in the elite room, there's charts right in front of me. I know what the rules are. I know the system. I have hours and hours and hours of video trainings that Daryl and John did, and hours of webinars and hours of training in the room. I can look at a chart as well, but I'm just going to wait and hope they call one. We've all been a little guilty of that at some point, haven't we? Especially that last part, right? Or especially when we were new. That's why we were in the elite room, just hoping to get some crumbs or some, whole plates handed to us. Not necessarily to learn and grow, right? And, when it comes to depending on a guru or depending on a signal service, and you quit your job and your trading is doing great following this guru and taking signals, and you quit your job and you and your family are good, and that guru gets in a car wreck tomorrow. What happens to you and your family and your finances and your kids' college and your mortgage? right? If all you're doing is taking someone else's signals and completely dependent on them, as opposed to learning from that guru to become a guru and be a guru yourself and have, your future and your finances in your own hands, right? Okay. Um, Pigs never want to ask, what did I do wrong? What can I do better? Why did this happen? They only remember the good times. They remember the winners, but not the losers, and they just want to keep going and going. There's always some excuse for the loser. I probably wouldn't have taken that. I won't do that again. That was a fluke. That was random, right? So the sheep, they're very scared. They don't ever do anything, right? They test and test. They stay in demo. Pigs, not scared of nothing, but they're lazy. They're not going to test. They want it all handed to them. So do you fall? Which one of those two do you fall into? Some of you are saying, yep, I'm a pig. Yep, I'm a little bit of both. Okay, so I've got two more. Iman says, oink, oink. I guess that's your answer. I've got two more I want to cover. But you see where I'm going with this? And you see how you can, as you're trading every day, do you see how you can ask yourself these questions a little bit? Like, okay, I'm about to press the button. Wait a minute. What animal might be in here? Or after a trade, or even in the middle of a trade. Okay, so that trade's done. I won, I lost, whatever. Why did I take that? Am I being a sheep right now? Am I being a pig right now? What am I being? And it can kind of help you realize, okay, this is what I'm being, right? How about the cheetah, right? One of the fastest land animals there is. Cheetah's usually a pretty good trader, actually. Fundamentally, cheetahs are normally pretty good traders. They've got, pretty decent, mental game going on. But can they teach others? Okay. Can they tell someone else how they do it? Are they consistent? Is there a reason behind your trades? Do you have a strategy? Do you have a system? Do you follow a set of rules? And normally, like I said, cheaters are fundamentally pretty good traders. They may not really have their head straight as far as their rules, but they go incredibly fast, right? These are the guys that you see in the room like, yeah, I know I'm supposed to stop at 3, but I'm on trade number 33, right? I'm at 13-0 today. You've seen those guys in the rooms, right? Man, I'm trading, I'm taking another trade. I just want to keep going. I need action. I need high roller. I need to keep busy. I need to keep going and going. It's a cheetah, right? And they keep going and going and going. They want more, and they're trading and trading. They overtrade. And they go incredibly fast. And what is it? Cheetah can go up to like 70 miles an hour or something, right? But cheetah goes 70 miles an hour, but not for more than 100 yards, and they burn out. Right? They're sprinters. They're fireworks. They dazzle you. They look pretty. They look great with their big explosion, and then they what? They just fade away. And we all know that trading is not a sprint, right? It's a marathon. It's long term. But they just want to keep going and going. They don't have long-term goals. They're living for right now. They're living for the action right now and pressing a button. They're not thinking long-term. They don't necessarily have a good plan, a good action plan, or long-term goals. And they might jump from this strategy to that strategy because they get bored with one and they need action. They want quick trades. They need to press a button now. No patience, no consistency. And they might not even catch every trade. They'll catch every other trade because they're jumping from chart to chart. They're watching too many systems. They're watching too many instruments, and they'll miss some trades. And because they're not being consistent, they're getting all the losers, right? After doing really, really good, and then they just burn out because they want more and more, right? How many of you did that? You started off of, oh, I'm only going to trade in Q. Well, now I'm going to look at YM also. Now I'm going to look at ES. Oh, I heard someone in one of the rooms talk about oil, CL. That's pretty good. I'm going to add those charts on too. Oh, wait, what? You trade the Russell? Oh, well, let me add the Russell chart on too. Wait, gold? Oh, I want to say I trade gold. That sounds cool to my friends. I'm gonna add that on. You know. Oh, and I heard what's her name, Doris, in the room trading the FDAX, something European market. Ooh, that sounds cool. I'm gonna add that on. Next thing you know, you're watching 10 charts, and you've only got 3 monitors, right? And you're flipping back and forth, and you're just missing trades left and right, and you're not being consistent because you're not taking, you know, all of the trades. Anybody been there? Anybody done that? Went too fast, too big, too quick. Started with one instrument, added another, add another, add another, add another. Going back and forth. Right? You just want to press buttons and press buttons and press buttons, and you go, go, go. You need the action. You feel like you're at the craps table in Vegas, right? Come on, let's go, let's go. And everybody's, you know, yelling and screaming and clapping and drinking, having a good time, and you just need that thrill. We've all been there. And you want to force trades because you got to find a trade. I don't want to sit here and wait. I know that wasn't a perfect trade setup, but I'm bored. I need some action. I need to press the buttons. They're a jack of all trades because they're running around to all these different charts, all these different systems, but they're a master of none. They're jack of all, but an ace of none. Instead of taking the time to master one, then add on another and master that one, then add on another and master that one. Right? They react to a loss, so they change something real quick. And they can mess with the system and keep messing with it, and then they go mess here, and then they go mess, and then suddenly that cheetah that started off big and bright and crazy and fast and going, ran out of steam, lost all the money, switched over to another system, kind of ran and lost some more money, and then switched over to another and ran and lost some more money, and then has lost all the steam and is like, well, let me test this. Which one was I doing that was good, and which one was the better, and let me test this, and no, that wasn't it. Now let me go back, and that wasn't it. Next thing you know, 6 months has passed, and what happened? The cheetah turned into a sheep. Because they ran, it blew up. Then they want to go back to testing to figure out what happened. I was doing good somewhere in there. Then they lose everything, burn out, and got to start with testing, and they're now scared, and they're now gun shy, and they're now trigger shy, and they turn into a sheep that will test in charts and demo for months. Oh, that's a little twist to it. Ricardo says, oh, OMG, that's me. Anybody been there? Where you were a cheetah and you somehow turned into a sheep when you flamed out. Cheetah into a sheep. Yep. Eerily familiar, Michael? Yeah. Okay. So you guys see so far these different characteristics, and you can probably also see how you might have been more than one of these in the past, maybe a little mix, but you also see how that cheetah very easily turned into a sheep. Nikita says, hey, stop talking about me. LOL. So cheetah will keep trading for the day, doesn't stop. Doesn't stop at 3. They're a trade junkie. They want to go on and on and on. So we've seen the failures. We've seen the weakness. We've seen the shortcomings in these first three personalities, right? Okay. Yeah, Michael says it's the feeling you have after a motorcycle accident, like you've lost your mojo and are freaked out when you get back on a bike. Exactly. Exactly. So when I started off this webinar, I talked a lot about self-analyzation and about learning to admit and analyze your weaknesses. And without being able to admit, see, and analyze and accept your weaknesses, we can't really grow. So you guys all understand the weakness and shortcomings of those first three personalities, right? Do you think that's something that you could ask yourself during trades of, what animal was I during this trade? What were my weaknesses during this trade? What did I do wrong during this trade? What could have I done better in this trade? What animal personality did I portray and act out in this trade? Oh crap, I'm being a sheep right now. Oh crap, I'm being a pig right now. I'm being lazy and I need to snap to it, put some more effort in. Crap, I'm being a cheetah right now. I'm just going and going and it's not smart. Because when you can recognize that you're a cheetah going 70 miles an hour, what do you know as a fact about cheetahs? They can only keep that up for 100 yards. So when you recognize, oh crap, I'm being a cheetah right now, what do you know is about to come? The burnout. Recognize that, put the brakes on. Recognize the weakness, make a change. Recognize what character, classification you're being under. Recognize that and change it. Make sense? Does that help? So what do we want to strive to be? The lion, right? The lion, king of the jungle. In the jungle, the mighty jungle, right? A lion is patient. You ever watch those National Geographic, Animal Planet things about lions? You would think the lion's actually the laziest one out there, right? Every other animal's out doing this and going here and running around. Lions, half the time you see them, they're sitting under a shade tree, just looking around, right? But the lion is patient. The lion sits and waits for the kill. The lion waits for just the right setup, right? The lion's sitting there looking at the herd of antelope going across in front of them. Are they running out there into the middle of the herd and chasing this one and chasing that one? Or do they just sit there and they wait? They might sneak up a little closer and prowl and sit. And what are they waiting for? The young one? The sick one? The slow one? The weak one? The straggler? Right? The easy kill. And then they wait, they chill, they watch it set up. There's the weak one, there's the straggler, and then what do? Bam, strike and get it, right? It's just like analyzing the markets. Kicking back, looking at news, checking out volume and ranges and market conditions, getting the full view, right? The lions know how the jungle works. They know how the desert works. They know how the herds work. They know there's going to be a straggler. They know if they get right in the middle of a herd, the herd can all come get. They know. A lion trader knows the ABCs and the 1, 2, 3s. They know the why of the system. Not just the rules for a setup, but all the stuff that I covered a couple months ago about why, what's behind it. They know it inside out. They don't have to be fed 2 + 2 = 4. Okay? They can also see that 2 × 2 also equals 4. Remember in grade school you had flashcards. Remember? Teacher had the flashcards, right? 1 + 1 = 2. 1 + 2 = 3. 1 + 3 = 4. Remember that? You had to memorize them? Well, if all you did was memorize flashcards and not understand math, there's a big difference, right? If all you ever did was memorize one set of flashcards, that's all you would know. But if you understand how addition works, you can answer every question on those flashcards plus any other edition question out there in the world, right? You didn't just memorize steps, 1 through 10 on the flashcards. When you understand math, understand addition, you can answer any of the questions, any other set of flashcards. Does that make sense? When you understand what's going on in the background, you know how to look at it from different ways. 2 plus 2 equals 4. 2 times 2 equals 4. 6 minus 2 equals 4. I can see this from different ways. I can see the market, what's going on, not just one chart, but this other chart and this. I get a full view, just like the lion sitting there in the shade, chilling out, and, checking out the whole spectrum, the whole herd, what's going on by the water hole, what's this other lion doing, what's just watching and waiting. And seeing that there's multiple paths to a destination, there's multiple targets I can take. I'm not going to just be stuck on one. I'm going to look for the right one, the easy one. I've got multiple plays in my playbook. I'm watching to see when I should use them, but I'm going to wait for everything to line up, and then I'm going to just go snag it. I'm not going to chase them. I'm not going to be the hyena that's running all over the place. Let me chase after this whole herd. Now I'm tired. Let me turn around and let me chase over here. Well, now I'm tired and thirsty. Now let me chase the lions. Like, I ain't doing all that. That's too much work. The lion is not as fast as the cheetah, are they? You ever thought about that? The lion's not as fast as the cheetah, but it's going to wait for the prey. It's going to wait for the target. It's not going to chase the target. It's going to take just the right setups. It's going to have good risk management. It's not going to put itself in harm with that herd. Just like the good lion trader is only going to trade with risk capital, not trade with the mortgage money or the college money, right? Not going to trade live money when they shouldn't be. And it's just going to master a few systems, not dozens, not 100, not getting rules mixed up. Hey, I want to know how to trade a long market, a short market, and a ranging market. That's all I need. I'm going to master those and sit and wait. I'm going to wait to strike till the time is right, but when it's right, I'm not going to hesitate. I'm not going to get in late. I'm not going to go chasing it. I'm not going to hesitate and think, what if, and well, like a sheep. I'm scared. The lion knows what it's doing. It's ready to strike. It sees the setup. It strikes. Doesn't hesitate like a sheep. Doesn't jump in too early like a pig and just lazily hope it works out. And it's not going to just go full blast running everywhere like a cheetah. The lion learns to become a guru, not just depend on signals from another guru, and they don't take on more than they can chew. They don't take on an opponent too large for them. You don't often see one little lion taking on a big old huge rhino, do you? Not often, right? Lion knows to have good risk management, knows when to stop, not to take on too much. They know what they can handle. They're not going to just randomly pick a trade. They're going to pick the right one, self-analyze on every trade, know what they can do better the next time. So the reality is what? We're all one of these characteristics now, and we've all been one of these characteristics at some point, and we might have been a mix of them or even different ones in the same day. There's probably been days where we've been 2 or 3 of these different ones, right? But we just have to be good at self-estimation and self-analyzation and constantly ask ourselves, what character was I on that last trade? Whether it was a good trade or a bad trade. Just because you won a trade, does that mean you're being a lion? Or you could have just been lucky, right? Every single trade. What was I right there? I'm a winner, so I feel like a lion, but man, that was pure luck. Okay, let's not do that again. Let's not reward bad behavior just because it worked out once, right? Track your trades. Ask yourself these questions. And did you notice when we talked about the lion, what did it sound a lot alike? They sit and they wait They don't chase. They pick just the right target, right? The straggler, I'm supposed to say straggler, the straggler that is weak. Remember what we talked about in the herd? Like the weak one, the slow one, the sick one, the young one. The lion identifies the weakness and strikes, right? Isn't that what we do as a sniper with the sniper system? Like, remember what I taught a lot of when we look behind the scenes? We're literally looking for a weakness and trading against the weakness, aren't we? Exhaustion boxes, trapped orders, weak paw print areas, walls. We're identifying targets and we're identifying weakness and then striking. Do you see where the lion and the sniper are a lot the same? And how this kind of fits together? Chris says, or the lion just waits under the tree while the lioness goes and hunts. Well, you know, that's pretty cool too. But you guys see how those kind of fit together there? And so, thriving in 2021. In order to thrive, we first must survive. To survive, we must be self-aware. Being self-aware allows us to grow. And growth leads to thriving, right? So let's look forward to this year. Let's look forward to this live event in March. Let's make sure that we work on nailing the basics. We understand the ABCs and the 1, 2, 3s. We understand the rules, the strategy and systems, the setups. We've got that. But we also have to focus on analyzing ourselves and recognizing our weaknesses. Because how we really change things is not just to grow in the things we're strong in, but to change our weaknesses into strengths as well. Okay? So let's really be ready to take it to the next level here at that Thrive event. Let's focus now on some of the self-analyzation. Let's get to the point where we can really take everything that we teach at this Thrive event and really put it into play right away. Like I said, we'll announce more as we get closer to it. So start this tomorrow in the room and on every trade you take. Every trade you take, what animal characteristic were you? What can you do to be better? Okay? So guys, like I said, a little bit different webinar tonight. I haven't really taught this in a while, but I wanted to kind of kick off the new year. I haven't really talked to you much this new year. I want to kick off the new year with this in your heads, in your minds, of make this the year to thrive, make this the year to really self-analyze. And those are 4 animal characteristics that you can use to ask yourself and identify to and catch yourself and realize, crap, I was being a pig right there. I was being a cheetah right there. Stop. All right, how do I be a lion next time? How do I be the sniper lion next time? Okay? So let's do some focus on that, guys. Thank you so much. I know I've been a little bit over here. I hope that was helpful to you. I'm going to get this recording out. I really, really hope everybody will spread the word about this webinar, because everybody on our team and the Apex family needs this for 2021. So as always, do me a favor, hop in your Skype rooms, hop in the Elite Room, hop particularly on Facebook group right now, on the Facebook page right now. Please say something about this webinar, how it helped you, encouraging others to watch it. I really would appreciate if you do that for me right now. Okay? All right, guys. Thank you so much. Hop on Facebook, hop on Skype, say something, get some rest. We'll see you tomorrow morning in the trade room. And I hope in the Elite Room tomorrow I see a lot of discussion about, and don't be name calling, Grant. Don't be calling, and Marion. Don't be calling people, oh yeah, you pig. Oh yeah, you sheep. Don't be name calling. But let's talk about that in the room. You know what I mean? I want to see some discussion about that. I was being a pig on that trade. I was being a cheetah on that trade. Let's really incorporate this. Yeah, Vivian, right? Yeah, I see it already. Marion, Pepper, name calling, piggies, oink oink. Let's keep it fun, but let's have some discussion in there. Guys, have a great night. Please hop in the rooms, hop on Facebook, say something about the webinar. We'll see you tomorrow. Good night. Thank you so much. All right. Bye.